hopefully they put bubble wrap all the way down. That's pretty dang sweet. That's right there. Just what's happening, fishing friends? Welcome to another episode. Today we are unboxing and talking about a rod. I picked up a few rods from a couple different companies who are having some really good Black Friday sales. Some companies that I've never used their product before, so I figured, you know what? Saving good money, now's time to do it. So today we'll get this rod unboxed and we'll go through all the specifics, all the features on the rod. I'll discuss the type of reel that I would pair it up with, and I'll go through the different lures, baits, you know, what kind of things I would actually use this combo for. Funny enough, that's one of the most common questions that I get. Debo, I got this new rod, or I got this new reel. What should I pair it up with? Or I have this new combo. What lure should I throw on it? So hopefully, giving this a little bit of, extra information, what I'm gonna throw on it will help some of you in case you got a similar combo. So enough talking, let's get into it. This is a rod and a company, my guy Philip, we talk back and forth. He's a gear nerd like myself. We talk back and forth and he recommended this company. This is from FX Custom Rods. I've heard of them before, I've seen their stuff, they look good, and I've thought about ordering some stuff in the past. Anybody out there with a knife, make sure you're always cutting away from your body. Debo, word of wisdom, I won't charge you for that. Now these rods are regularly 170 something. I got it for 130, everything out the door I think it was, so it's like a what, 25% discount. Pretty good to me. So the packaging looks good. It's a good stiff hard, good solid cardboard tube. It's got the little cap on it there, and when we look in the inside, we do have bubble wrap, which is nice. That was around the butt of the rod. Okay, let's see. Hopefully they put bubble wrap all the way down, because when companies don't do that, I notice that's when they bang back and forth and you end up with some broken guides. Okay, none in the middle. I usually like to see some bubble wrap in the middle, but they did have bubble wrap on the outside. So for any of you purchasing a rod online, always make sure you're diligent about checking every piece of the rod, every single eyelet, every single insert, the tip, making sure you inspect the whole thing. All right, get the plastic sheath off of here, and this is what we have. FX Extreme. Yeah, I am telling you, these rods look sick. All right, and this is the, I don't even remember which one I got. This is the 7'1" medium heavy power fast action. 7'1", that's what always makes it hard. You know, sometimes I'll only get one version of a rod and somebody will say, well, how was the heavy version of that? Or, how was this? Each rod can be a little different. I've used some rods in, like a medium light that feel really good, but then you get a heavy in that series and it just feels like a, a really heavy broomstick. So this happens to be the FX Extreme Angler series. They had another model that was like 300 and some bucks. I couldn't see spending that much. So this one feels really good. I like that they did put the specifics right there so you can see exactly what it's rated for. Your bait or lure keeper is right back here. It's kind of the little loop. I'm kind of torn on that. I don't really like them back here because when I hook a bait to it, like a treble hook bait, and I put my bait wrap over it, it's back here. Or if it's just like a jig or something, that's usually where I grab. I'm not a huge fan of them back there. That's really just personal preference though. I do like that it's the open loop though, so that way I can just pull the lure off. If it's like a jig or a Senko or whatever, Texas rig, I can just take it and throw. All black color with white, silver. It's got that carbon fiber silver inside there. Love the looks of it. When it comes to looks of a rod and reel combo, I am super boring. I like black and white, black and silver, very low profile, black, not a lot of flashy stuff. So this is right up my alley. Absolutely love the colors on it. You can see there it does have the Winn grips. I love the Winn grips. Nice and grippy. You can see it's got their FX custom logo on it. On the back there, the Winn grips there too with a little bit bigger butt on it. I like it. It's nice and comfortable. Okay, so it's got the Fuji Fazlite ring guides. Those are some nice guides on there. And I like on the rod, they give you a recommendation of what this would be good for right there. I think that's helpful for beginners because if you just see like a 7-foot medium heavy, a lot of newer folks are like, well, can I use it for this or that? So this one they would recommend jigs, worms, Senkos, or bladed jigs. So that's a gambit of all the different stuff. I think this will be a nice do-it-all rod, but you can see how the reel seat tightens on there. It does have a nice large nut there where you're actually going to tighten it. Some of these can be kind of small, kind of thin this way, so they get kind of hard to tighten up. I like the looks of that. Reel seat looks to be good and solid, feels good and solid. I always do the shake test to see if there's any no weird cracks, creaks. Some of them have this like weird cracky, creaky sound, and you can just tell they're kind of a not very expensive rod. Now I'm not saying you shake the rod and that tells you, but if I get a rod and I'm already shaking it and I hear cracks and creaks and stuff in it, to me it's not a good sign. Okay, Okay, when it comes to the guides, people might love or hate that. I'm not going to say they're micro guides, but they're pretty small guides. Not quite 100% micro, but those are kind of small guides on there. Not the itsy bitsy teeny tiny guides. They're a little bit bigger than that, but they're pretty small guides on there. So as far as frogging or something, I don't know if like the heavy version comes with larger guides. I'm not a fan of the real itsy bitsy tiny guides for frogging and stuff. But otherwise, overall looks of this rod, it's pretty dang sweet. I am digging it. Okay, so what reel would I put on this? Well, as kind of an all-purpose, to me this is going to be more of a casting, retrieving, you know, a little bit heavier lures, not super heavy, but you know, a bladed jig, swim jig, 3/8 ounce jigs. I want kind of a good do-it-all around reel, Texas rigs, jigs. I'm thinking the SLX XT would be a good pairing on this. So SLX XT has that aluminum frame. It's a good solid reel. Casts nice. You can flip and pitch with it really well. So let's see how that feels on here. There we go. No weird cracking, clicking. Oh, we need to check all the guides. Make sure you check every single guide before you cut the tags off. Make sure it's good. Okay, I checked out every single guide. Now, something to keep in mind is you want to check the guide from the front, looking from the tip of the rod down, and you want to check it from the back of the rod, looking up. Another thing I noticed on this is they don't have a ton of extra globs of like resin, whatever it is, that glue that they use to keep the guides on. The whole rod looks really nice. I look down it, you know, like you'd be looking down the barrel of a rifle. Everything is 100% straight. That's another thing I look at. If I look down this and I see some of the eyes are kind of old cattywampus kicked off to the side, I'm not going to purchase the rod. But this, everything looks good on it. Let's cut these tags off because I'm happy with it. And there we have it. How does it feel in hand? Ooh, feels great. Good and light. I'm digging that a lot. That's what it looks like together as a combo. I think that fits it pretty well. Too bad the SLX wasn't all black and silver, but that black and blue looks nice paired on there. Not that that's going to be the determining factor, but feels good. Let's see where the balance point's at with the SLX XT. Wow. That's pretty darn good. That's where we're at, balance point right there. That's actually really good. I've got you know, rod and reel combos where the balance point is clear out here. That's right there, just in front of the reel nut, or the nut that tightens the reel on. That's actually really nice. Rod feels really good in hand. I hold it like this. The trigger goes between my pinky and ring finger. Feels extremely solid. I like that in hand feel a lot. One thing, because I always have my finger up here where the line guide goes, one thing I notice is if companies use a real hard or a real abrasive material here, I think their thought process behind it is, oh, if we have a good, you know, abrasive grip to it or texturing, makes it easier when you tighten the reel down, right? The bad thing is if you're somebody like me who lays your finger here, if you're a line feeler like me, I like to finger my line. And when you do that, if this is real abrasive or hard, it wears on the bottom of your finger. It's annoying. So this is real nice and smooth. Notice the lines go up this way. That's the way my finger goes. They don't go, you know, the other way where that's going to be rubbing against my finger. So feels good in hand. Balance on it is nice. It feels good and light. Okay, so what type of lures would I use on this? I have 17-pound fluorocarbon on here right now. When it's a little bit thicker, what do you think, Mr. Stubbs? Are you wanting to make an appearance? Come on. What do you think, Mr. Stubbs? You're nosy and you wanted to say hi, didn't you? All right, there you go. All right, he went and laid down. He just had to say hi. But 17-pound fluoro is usually my all-purpose go-to when stuff's a little bit thicker. You know, I've got some vegetation, I've got some wood I'm going to be around. As just an all-purpose general all-around, I think 15-pound fluorocarbon is my do-it-all. But what kind of lures would I throw on this? Now remember, this is rated for lures up to 3/4 of an ounce. But you can see on the lighter side there, it goes all the way down to 3/16. So this to me is such a versatile rod. Great, you know, all around. I can throw chatterbaits. I can throw 1/2 ounce on these. I could throw 3/8. It's going to do either one of those weights very well. So I could use it for chatterbaits. Of course, a rod like this is great for swim baits. It's not, you know, too long where you can't cast accurately. 7'2" I'm really accurate with. Some people might like something a little, you know, shorter if they're around a bunch of wood and stuff, trying to be real accurate with this spinnerbait. 7 foot maybe, or even a 6'10", but that's kind of personal preference. Of course, I'm going to be using this for some Texas rigs. 1/4 ounce I find is usually my go-to from the bank. I'm not fishing real deep, you know, 3 to 6 foot of water. As I move up from there, usually about the heaviest I go bank fishing is 3/8. Now, of course, if you're from a boat, this is going to handle ½ ounce, no problem at all. So up to ½ ounce, I think you're good. Now, if you start going heavier than that, you want to punch, this isn't going to be the setup for you. But all your lightweight Texas rig stuff, no issues. Of course, I'm going to use it for jigs, so I can throw a little bit larger 3/8 ounce jig like this, flipping and pitching this around, brush, grass edges. This should do great. But because this rod loads with a lighter weight, I can throw my finesse jigs on something like this. If you're someone looking to get into the finesse game, a rod like this rated for 3/16 up to 3/4 of an ounce is great. That's what I used this year in one of my Lew's rods, throwing this little 5/16 ounce. This is the Luke Clausen Dirty Jigs. Loved that thing. You can see it's a small profile finesse jig, but on a rod like this, gonna do absolutely fine. I would usually prefer 15 pound on a finesse jig combo, but 17 pound, I guarantee I would still throw this without an issue. Now, I even like a medium heavy when I'm throwing square bills around more cover. So when I'm throwing a square bill around wood, I'm fishing it faster, a little bit harder, almost like I would a swim jig. I'm banging it into wood, I'm banging it off rocks. A rod like this, a softer medium heavy, is great for both of these. Swim jigs, oh, those treble hooks on there are no joke. But anyway, swim jigs, square bills, both of those do well on a medium heavy. I want a little bit more backbone with the square bill when I'm around cover. I don't want it to be real soft and spongy so I can pop it over stuff and bring it over things. And if I do get that fish caught up in some wood or whatever with a square bill, you know, or a swim jig, either one, I can fight them out of there. So comment below and let me know what you think of this setup. Do you like the rod? Do you not like the rod? Are there things you'd change about it? Hopefully I can get out after I unbox all these, do some casting tests, kind of that stuff with it, tell you how it feels in hand and all that. But I want to do this unboxing to show off all the specifics, the features and everything. Pretty cool rod. Like I said, I've got a few more coming. But today's subscribed fishing friend is Brandon Carazales, or Carazales. I don't know how you say your name, but thank you, sir. We talked back and forth. You're a good guy. It was recently his birthday, so happy birthday, man. And thank you everybody else who continues to watch, support my channel. It means a ton. I know I say it a lot, and I know it sounds kind of smushy and cliche, but it really does mean a lot to me. Without all of you, my channel would be nothing. I wouldn't be here. So thank you all so much for the support. Comment below and let me know if there's another rod you want to see soon. Like I said, I've got a couple more I talked about on my live. I'm going to be unboxing those, just kind of bam, 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 putting those videos out. So yeah, thank you all for watching, and until next time.